Philip, are you here? Okay, so let me say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever part of the world you are watching us from. It's a pleasure again to be on the Myers TV show with another edition. Wherever you are joining us from, also welcome tonight to the show. We are blessed to be here. We say let's have a wonderful time, a wonderful conversation. We ask that you please share as many as you can do for us. We are presently live on YouTube, and you can please go and follow our page. We will appreciate that. So, Philip, are you here, my brother? Okay, so I think Mr. Dodo, who is our host for tonight, he's going to be joining us shortly. So while he joins us tonight, let's take a short musical break, and then once he's set up, we are going to start immediately.
Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream. From Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture. Myers TV, Myers TV, bringing light each day, stories that guide us, show the way, one love, one voice, one destiny, welcome to the future, Myers TV, a vision was born with a purpose so true, Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into a
Yeah, Philip, you can go ahead, my brother.
Okay, thank you. So it's actually a blessed week for us all, and we thank God for life again. We thank Him for bringing us onto the platform once again for our fruitful conversation where we can share our own insights and experiences with topics that are very heart touching, fascinating. So today or tonight, I would like to extend my greetings to everyone, especially our followers and supporters, as well as our friends and family. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for always, giving us the support by tuning in to the Mass Television and following our conversations we have on a weekly basis. So I would like to extend my thanks again to Queen. I know it took you, forever, but you made it through. Thank you for coming through, and thanks to Miles again for being here with us always. And Queen, what's up? How are you?
I'm okay, Philip. How you doing?
I just can't hear you,
Are you getting me? Miles, you hearing
Queen.
me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm hearing you, Philip. What happened,
I,
Philip?
I, Philip,
No,
I get
I
Philip.
can't
That's
hear
why.
Queen properly. What's up?
Then you
Are
can
you
rejoin.
are you hearing me, Philip?
Yes, I can hear you, Miles. Unlike Queen.
So can you
Re-
rejoin? Can you rejoin, Philip?
Okay, let me do that.
Seeing Queen today, Queen is in on Mandreta. That shows that they came to provoke us, my people. They are here tonight to provoke us to anger. But nevertheless, it is what it is. That's it. We have nothing to say. we cannot justify anything. That's life. Life has to move on. And we know that life's gonna get
Ah,
better very soon. Philip,
Yo, I'm here, bro.
Queen is wearing Madrid's tab to provoke me to anger tonight. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, we gonna keep Queen. You people did well. Must applaud you. We must applaud you. So to all of our people who say welcome, I think Philip is trying to join our host. He's trying to join tonight. Okay, let me see. So Philip, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, okay. Queen, as I was saying, where Queen Kino provoked me today to anger. You see how with Madrid tap.
Oh, really? You
I was not
anti
saying
Madrid. But Queen look beautiful though. I like your hairstyle.
When
thank
Madrid
you.
win, that's why you see my brother. When Madrid win, that's how they come up.
I I know.
His network is very, very bad. I don't know if someone is calling him or perhaps yeah, that's the internet. So you have to work
Yeah,
on that. So
I sure. So we want to say thanks to all of our followers for continuing following us. We want to say welcome tonight. We are here with another edition of the Myers TV. We say thanks for always being with us. It is not easy of you using your data every time joining us, but we want to say thank you. We believe that this show has been so educative to a lot of us, not just you people who are watching out there, but even us. We are also been learning a lot of things from this platform. And tonight, like Phyllis said, we have a very unique discussion, and I hope that every one of us are going to grab something from it today, and we are going to try to implement those things. So, Philip, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And I'm sorry for, constantly going off. I did receive a call from the mini convention, team. I think there is a meeting. So whenever they call, I kind of disconnect. I'm sorry about that.
no
Again,
issues.
thank you, Miles, for the intro. And again, hello to our people. So have we have a very fascinating conversation on the topic, what a healthy relationship. So healthy relationship, looking at 3 or 4 segments of building, maintaining, and enjoying healthy relationship. So one of those segments we have is boundaries, looking at boundaries, and the next we have communication, and the next we have is what respect, which I love the respect is everything. So I know that we all know that in our everyday life we do see relationship, at in what should I say? People usually use the word, but I'm not going to use it. But I know that, and we all know that relationship is in display, on a day-to-day basis. So since we tend to have relationship with our families, our friends, colleagues, our workmates, someone we see or people we meet, since we tend to have relationships, it's important that we establish those relationships, based on truth, based on trust, based on respect, emotional safety, and that of communication. So as we establish those relationships based on these, terms, we can be able to enjoy the relationship as well as maintaining the relationship. So tonight we're going to explore, how boundaries, like setting boundaries, and also the respect and communication can help us, build a very healthy relationship as we go on tonight's discussion. So, like I said, we have 3 to 4 segments, and in those segments, we're going to be asking questions, around those segments, live scenario question. So, Miles and that of Queen and our incoming panelists can be able to throw their insights or experiences they've had based on those questions. Before I proceed, I would like Miles to do his intro on this topic, how he perceived the topic. Next, we move on to Queen. Miles,
You don't know for your followers to know who are those people that have come here.
You could do that, please. I actually missed out on that. Thank you for the reminder. So you could do that in your intro.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
thank
you so much, Philip. Okay, Queen, you can go ahead and say, ladies and gentlemen, right?
Go
Okay,
ahead,
fine. Let's
Myers.
Give the Madrid people a
Queen.
chance today.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I'll go ahead, Queen.
Are we driving?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say good morning, even as per location you are following from. The name remains constant. I'm Queen Annie and currently residing in India and a panelist of today's show. So this topic is actually important because it have to do with practical experiences or experience from our life. One or other, everyone may have experienced these things or want to experience these things. It's very cardinal to a human's life in your relationship, among your friends, at your workplace, even your school. These are things that are very, very important. So it talks about building a healthy relationship. That's our topic. And we have three components that have to do with respect, boundaries, and communication. So as we all know, in a relationship, in as much as we are building relationship, we have to look at three fundamental things that helps to build a relationship and enable us to foster our way clearly. That's how we do respect boundary. So if it comes to boundary, from my own analysis, boundaries have to do with, as a human being, you have to set. Philip, you want
Hello,
to
Queen.
I want Philip to be host.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Queen. I just want your intro on the topic before getting into the segment. You did not get me clearly. Am I clear now to you?
You are. It's okay. That's why I say I really enjoy you being a host. I really enjoy you.
No comments. No comments. I know what you actually mean, but no comments. But I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, right? I only wanted your intro on the topic healthy relationship before we can dive into those, different segments, as you smartly said. Would that be now?
No issues in my Indian voice. No issues.
Okay, man. Thank you. So let's hear you, Miles. You can, introduce yourself and then, throw your own intro on the topic for tonight healthy relationship.
Thank you, Philip. Thanks to you, Queen, as well, for being here tonight. I'm so excited, and thanks to all of our followers for always coming through for us. It is a nice time being here tonight on this platform. So let me say, Philip, when I saw the topic, Queen usually say, "Miles, always let us people in fear studies." And it's very good like that, right? That's why we are practicing as a professional people, right? So let's look at the word health, right? When we talk about health, we talk about the state of someone being or well-being, right? Is a state of somebody physical, emotional well-being of a person, right? So when we add the word relationship to it, relationship we has to do it can be family. I told you I said tonight we discuss about those different relationships, right? And you see the kind of thing that when these things are when you are the place of being healthy, like we said, right? You divine health, talking about the state of emotional and physical well-being of a person, right? So when you are in a relationship, when you are physically and healthy, and what means that means that yeah, that's a very good thing you are into. That means that yes, this particular thing is so fruitful, And what are those healthiness that comes with those relationship thing that we're talking about tonight? And we talk about value, we talk about respect, right? Because in a relationship, for it to be very healthy, you must have that value. That person that you are in a relationship with, be it from whatever perspective, you must be able to get that value for them, be able to get that respect. And you talk about boundaries, Philip. It's something that is very, very serious, and we have to talk about today. There are a lot of us, we are going or we are setting boundaries. Some of us have made that mistakes, and from now we decide to work on it, right? We just open up ourselves to people, allow anybody to just cross path with us. Today, when you read my Facebook, or that of how you call it, WhatsApp status, I posted or something on my day, a quotation I say, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. That's how you treat people, right? Or that's how you teach people. The way you allow somebody to talk to you, the way you allow them, to say things to you, their words you allow them to bring to you. That's how they would bring it to you. If you don't open that space for them, they won't do it to you. But if you try to open up yourself, just like that feeling, people will just tell you anything that comes to their mind. They tell you because they feel like nothing will come out of it. But when you try to have that boundary with them, right? This is where it stop. Beyond that, no, don't go that way. Don't go that way. And that's it. Even your family shape, another thing, right? People must get that boundary no matter your age and what have you. You remember when Paul told Timothy, right? Don't let people to load down on you. Sometimes people in the family, what have you, look down on because of our age and what have you. But don't allow it, right? Get that boundary with people. Let them know where they're supposed to stop.
Thank,
So I'll stop here for now. If we
thank you.
go deeper, we'll try another thing.
Yeah, I do appreciate you both inputs on this topic, which is crucial for a serious conversation where we can share our insights and life experiences. I would like you guys to speak up. This platform is yours. The people are yours. The time is yours. I mean, it's just you and so you're going to bring out everything you have and you speak up all the insights and experiences you've had over time. And I like the fact that you both were able to note this key thing that we have many problems in relationship today. And the reason why we tend to have many problems in relationship today is because of poor communication, or we say lack of communication, right? Like kind of communicating proper way, right? And people also like respect in a relationship. Also, we look at weak boundaries, like you both mentioned about. We saw weak boundaries in your intros, and also lack of respect, and the list can go. But there's one thing I would like us to note on this platform tonight: that relationship, can be built. Relationships, not only with your spouse, your girlfriend or boyfriend or fiancé, no, but relationships can be built with your family. It also can be built with your colleagues, your classmates, and other people in the community, right? So these relationships are, but they are not automatic. You don't expect someone, to perform well in a relationship, just first off. No, you just don't necessarily have to think that way. So first off, you have to, clearly define the purpose of that relationship, get to know the reason why you are entering into a relationship with, the next party or other parties. Clearly define the purpose, clearly define the assignment, and also clearly define, the task that you are to perform in that particular relationship with those people you are going to enter into with. So it's very important that I have you two on the platform for tonight. And to our followers again, I would like to encourage you to share this. Encourage your friends to join in. You drop your thoughts in the session as always. Whatever question you have, just use the comment section there. Or better still, Miles is going to read out, the phone line. You can phone in, and then we have a conversation. Better still, we can bring it on the platform on this live broadcast. So it's important we all do this together. And guys, these are four things we're going to be looking at, and as we provide our insights or idea to the questions being asked, right? We've got to take I'm sorry we've got to take into consideration the trust, we take into consideration respect, communication, and emotional safety. So without further ado, let's look at the first three questions we have. These are just intro questions, then we can go to real. That's how we're going to have tonight's discussion. So first off, we kickstart with the lady in the house. How gorgeous she is tonight. So, Madam Queen, the question tonight is: what defines a healthy relationship in everyday life for you?
Thank you so much to our guests for the opportunity to speak to our people tonight. So when you look at health relationship, let me just go on a medical aspect where once you have your body passed right, and then perhaps your health is hurting, that tells that you will not function well. Perhaps maybe your neck is hurting. The activity of you, the way everything functions in your body won't function like that. It tells that these three components: respect, boundaries, communication. One is lacking, it becomes toxic in a relationship. So what I understand from a healthy relationship is a combination of three elements that have to do with respect, that have to do with communication, and that have to do with boundaries. Setting up boundaries in a relationship cause it to be healthy. Because we know nowadays, right? Once you are maybe you do your working place, Phyllis my boss, and Phyllis tells me I have overused myself, perhaps I'm not even well, and Phyllis say, Queen, can you get this done? Once I say, oh boss, today I'm really not okay, you feel irritated, you feel that, because Queen is working on me, there's no need. Queen should refuse, people should learn to respect boundaries with people at your workplace, in your relationship. Once in your relationship, your partner should know that you need time for yourself, maybe to study, just time to retrospect, to think of yourself. But too much attachment makes people feel that once we are in a relationship, there's no need for you to even have time for yourself as well. Coming to respect in a relationship, yeah. Coming to respect in a relationship, people should also prioritize being respectful in a relationship, in your family, right? If you want for you and your parents to pull, you should learn to respect them. If you want
Right.
at your workplace for if you want at your workplace for you to be seen as the highest, for you to be seen as the most respectful, dedicated person, many working places where at the end of the year they do some ceremony wherein they award people for their good deeds, right? So you will always see that because of your commitment, your respect towards your boss or their jobs that you are committed with, people award you for that. So we have to be respectful in as much as we are building relationship. We cannot build relationship on wherein we feel, once a relationship reaches a place that you are not respecting your parents, you are not respecting people at your school, in your relationship, it becomes so bad and toxic and lasting into communication, right? We have to open up our communication when we feel disenchanted, when we feel something that is bad in our workplace, we have to open our communication. There's a need for communication. So, in conclusion of what I was saying, that a healthy relationship is based on three components that have to do with respect, boundary, and communication. Once these things are placed or put to order in the remedy, these things make a relationship healthy instead of toxic. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you so much. I like the way you were able to end your thought on this question. What defines a healthy relationship in our everyday life? Where you were able to balance between homes, schools, and workplace, right? And that's very important for us. That's very important for us. We've got to be, emotionally balanced, and we've got to be emotionally regulated so as to know our place, our position, and what we ought to do and how we ought to treat the next person. It's not everything going our way, but we have that equal balance between both parties. And thank you for lending your thought, and we look forward, to having more of these strong points you just raised. So let's transition to Myers on this very same topic. I'm sorry, on this very same question. Myers, for you, what is healthy relationship in your own words?
Thank you, Philip. Thank you so much to Queen. She just set it up. So there are a few things I want to stress, right? Meaning when we talk about healthy relationship, like Queen gives definition from the health perspective, which of course we all noted. We talk about being safe. We talk about having value. We talk about mutual relationship. The mutual relationship in this particular thing, mutual respect. Sorry, the mutual respect in the particular thing is, it is not just you should be respected, but also your colleagues should also be respected, right? If you want for somebody to
Right.
respect you, you must also try to respect the person in return. Because once you cannot respect them in return, how do you expect the person to respect you? So firstly, when you as an individual, right, when we talk about healthy relationship, I'm saying to us tonight, we talk about building that value firstly, whatever relationship you are into, right? Tonight I will try to lay some relationship for us tonight. Whatever relationship you are into tonight, Queen is smiling, right? You must make sure that that relationship should have values. You understand it? In order to keep it healthy. When there is no value in that particular relationship, meaning it cannot be healthy, right? Mutual respect. I said it previously, and I'm saying it again. Respect your friend before you how you call it, right? Before you expect respect to come back to you, also respect that person. Value their own self, right? Respect them, know their boundaries and other things, know what to say to them. There are a lot of us today, we just say things to people, and when they try to respond to us, then we take it to be insult, we take it to be disrespect, right? Because listen, everybody has their own emotion, right? Everybody has their own emotion. What may seem right to you may seem wrong to another person. So whenever you want to speak to somebody and you're talking about that person being a friend to you, be it from the family side, whatever side, know that, think in your mind, what am I about to say to this person? Is it going to be offended? Is this going to be an offensive word to them? Or how is it going to lay in your heart? Try to understand it and then try to know what calculate on the kind of response they are going to give. So once you don't know these things, then it causes problem, right? And Queen said it. We talk about when we talk about healthy relationship, we talk about open communication. The thing about open communication, right? Let me try to make it very simple for us. Relationship is not about dictatorship. There are differences between relationship and dictatorship, right? When you speak, allow other people to speak. When people say they are going to say, listen to it as well. Not just you, but just say everything. That's why you see today, Philip, a lot of friendship or relationship has been broken today because people feel that relationship is about dictatorship. Their voice should be the only voice that should be heard, where other person's voice are not valued to them. They don't value other people's voice. And what happened, for example, it becomes problem. Another thing, a healthy relationship should be something that we call supportive, a friend or what have you, right? Every relationship you want to get into today should be something that will be supportive, right? Don't just get into that friendship or relationship because you want to get it. In a sense of support, right? That person should be able to support your ideas. You also support their ideas. That person should be looking at your way and you also be looking at their way, right? Because that's the thing. Let's say, for example, you want to build a healthy relationship. There are some things, Freddie, we were talking something behind the scene, right? And then that's why I just analyze. There are some things, right? There are some things you're trying to go through and other things. But this person is not there to give you any courage or any support and what have you. It's not like you are into this relationship because you want money from them in return. No. But there are little words, right? They say kind words. They have a saying. I don't know, kind words is better than, I don't know what to say. I think they have something saying like that, right? Yeah.
But, bro,
Say,
I'm speaking from the Bible and the biblical perspective. Can what take it away, bro?
thank you, right?
Right.
So that kind of word you will give to that person, that kind of word you will give to them, will always help them know. I think there's a kind of friendship or relationship that I want to be in. Philip, let me say this to you. Why healthy relationship matters that a lot of us we don't know. One, it improve well-being. Like Queen stated, right? A person want to be in their rightful mind. That why they decide to bring you around them. They don't want stress. They want to be stress free. That's why they decide to make you a friend or bring you as a relationship person to them. Queen, why you are laughing? And once you're trying to increase their stress,
Okay.
increase
Yeah.
whatever,
I
increase whatever thing they're going through,
love
they will try to they will try to cut
that.
out their stuff for you. And further, why is it matters? Another thing we look at confidence, right? The reason why people come around you is because they have built that confidence in you. They are taking you to be that kind of person. They know that you cannot go extra, you cannot go on the wrongful side, right? They have built that confidence, on you. That's why it matters a lot, right? That's why somebody would like to build that relationship with you because they see you to be different from other people. There are other people out there you think they don't even go and make have friendship with them, but they decide to take you, Philip, because they see something within you where they have built that confidence within you there. And it creates support system. Why you see relationship matters, Philip? Support is very, very crucial in relationship. It's very, very crucial in relationship, right? Any relationship you are in today, be it from the family side, I'm not saying, right, the support we are talking about, it doesn't just have to do with finance. That's one of the things we like today. That anytime we talk about support, it just has to do with finance. No, those emotional support you give to people, those things you say to people, the way you behave, even your behavior to them, can calm them down, right? So that's why you see people always try to build relationship. So you see within a family, for example, within a family, you see this person will tell you that this is my own bully. Do you know why they say that person is their own bully? Because even though that person don't have it to give to them, but when they are into circumstances, when they are facing some challenges, the way in which this person addresses them, right? That's why you see they always get closer to that person. And further, I want to say, right? Another thing I want to say, the type of relationship we are discussing tonight is just few. For my side, we talk about family relationship. Be it from the family side, you must have a value there. Any family you are in, you see they are not valuing you, you must know that you have first thing you have to check yourself. Either maybe you are not valuing the family as well, so you have to check yourself, right? We talk about, let's just say, friendship. Yeah, it can be any kind of friendship, right? That you are into, right? Maybe that friend they are not also valuing you and one of you, right? We talk about romantic relationship. That's another thing we have to look at. We talk about boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. Every husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend into a relationship, it do not give you the audacity, or it doesn't give you the ability to stand as a dictator. No. That person loving to you, it doesn't mean that you must try to control their entire life. It is not like they are 100% subject to you, that everything you say they must be there, yes, sir. No, it is not. It's not a dictatorship. We are no more in a dictatorship, region right now. Another thing we talk about, work or school relationship, right? At our workplaces, the Queen was saying, we build relationship there with people. At our school, we also try to build relationship there. I want to talk about the issue of boundaries. I want to say to us tonight, when we talk about boundaries, we talk about a limit to protect time, energy, emotion. It is what a limit to protect your time, your energy, and your emotion. The reason why people will always go against us or will always go against other people is because we don't want to set that boundaries. We don't want to cut, quote unquote, Philip, let me tell you a word tonight. We don't want to cut that, quote unquote, right? We don't want the person to let the person understand that, my brother, what we are into, I want you to know that this is your stopping point and this is my stopping point. I don't want you to do these things to me. I don't want to do these things to you. Let's try to know that. Setting that limit, you must get a limit, right? You must get a limit, and your energy, right? You must try to protect your energy, right? Whatever thing you try to get into, it should be something that at the end of the day, it will be profitable to you. If it is not profitable to you, don't waste your energy. Get your boundary inside it, right? Get your boundary. Stay calm. Because if you don't do it at the end of the day, you're gonna get serious problem. And when we talk about the type of boundaries tonight, we talk about physical, emotional, time, and then that is so much. So I'll
So
stop
that
there for now. No, you me.
yes, sure. We want to dive into that. Like I said, the platform is yours, the time is all yours, and the people are yours, right? Going to provide all your insights, and you're going to be more practical tonight. So I like the fact you both were able to, highlight this thing in your definitions for relationship. What is it like to you? And you made mention of, people not being bad. It's not that people are being bad. Others, be it your family, your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, your colleagues or your friends, your workmates. No, it's not that people are being bad, but this is what actually happens. That is, people lack these basic skills that we are discussing tonight. Setting boundary is a skill, right? Setting boundary is a skill. Communicating your feelings, your thought with the next person is a skill, right? And respect also is a skill we tend to build. We tend to, have in us and try to practicalize. It's not about being bad, Myers. It's not that the girl wants to be bad to the boy or the boy wants to be bad to the girl, vice versa. Or we want to be rude to our family, or our family, want to be, harsh to us, or our bosses want to be, so chaotic. No. Or, our friends, want to be, very annoying. No, it's not that. But it's simply because these people, or a few of them, better still, a vast majority of these people do not learn these skills, or they do not know how to utilize these skills in a relationship. So you find out that some might say to themselves, I don't need to set a boundary because I'm not good at setting a boundary. And whatever the other person says, I say yes to it. And there are things, and there are facts. You also said no to a particular request coming from this person. It could be your mom, your dad, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your boss, your colleagues, your friend, whoever. There are times you said no to them when setting boundaries, right? And there are times you say yes to them. And there are times you give the respect, like you talk about the mutuality, right, Miles? The mutual respect. What you give and what I give out is just the computer terminology. Garbage in, garbage out, right? Giggle. What you put in is what you get back in return. But it's not like that. It's not that people want to be bad. But the vast majority of us here, young people, we tend to forget these basic values we ought to have. We don't necessarily give attention to them. So for the most part, we only focus our attention onto the pleasure, on what we can gain from the relationship, and how we can drain the significant others. So that being said, I would like to transition us to the next question, which of course we're going to be very practical again, and then we're going to take a real life scenario. I like the fact you guys are bringing in this conversation some real life facts, right? So let's take these intro questions and then we can dive deeper into the real life scenario. So here's a question for you, Queen, and that is why is it that many people struggle to maintain healthy relationships? Why is it so? They kind of struggle to maintain after you have established and you kind of enjoy it, but you can't maintain it. Why is it so?
Thank you so much again, Philip, for the opportunity. So let me just say, the reason people struggle, after building things for numerous of times and then find it difficult to maintain is because, what do I say, on the issue of feeling safe, feeling so comfortable with someone that you feel that because I'm so attached or this person is attached to me, they cannot taste thing anymore. When a group of people coming together to achieve one goal, like you open organization, right? You call for a meeting. First to come for a meeting, everyone have that mutual respect.
Right.
Everyone mutual respect. People trying to make that say first impression, go out first impression. People trying to work in accordance. But if time goes by, maybe the women feel they talk, and maybe admire joke all the time. People see that as a weakness. People take these things as a granted. Like they feel I'm already used to Philip. I can use any words on him. I'm already used to
Have we lost Miles?
I don't know what is happening to her. I think her
Okay,
internet is loading.
Miles, let's ask some- Miles,
All right, Philip, are you there?
yeah, yeah. Are you here with me?
So, regarding to your question, Philip, are you here? Right?
Yes, you are audible.
Uh, People struggle because one of the things I want to say tonight is because they are not honest. Yeah, honesty pay a lot, right? When you want to build a healthy relationship, you must be very honest. I think I can just give Queen. Queen, are you here?
Yes, Queen's back now.
I'm, I'm here. I'm sorry, call interrupted.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
So if you like I was saying, right? Because you feel so much attached, or you feel that because this person is attached to me, so they cannot do things anymore. You see it as a weakness to take them for granted. In as much as you carry first impression, right? Like you respect this person at your workplace. The first time, right? If you are being accepted to work in a place, Philip, you'll be one of the respect for everything to that working place. That whole will be yes, sir. In fact, if your boss even asks you to work for 24 hours, Philip, you will agree because wow, first impression, you're trying to impress your boss that you are competent enough, that you are available anytime. These are mistakes people make, Philip. You should be willing to say no at certain time. You see me, I have a boundaries for people. People who here they know me very well. When it comes to just coming to my hub, even my landlord don't do that. If you want something from me, trust me, you will text me. If not, so Philip, one thing will hurt Or one of the things I heard people, right? A friend of mine called a speech with me before because of that. You hear me talking in my room. Trust me, if I was talking in court, because I'm only one in my room all the time, I will be talking on that phone loudly for you to know I'm into and I'm not even asleep. But I won't open that door for you because why? I have a policy, I have a boundaries. If you want something from me, if you want to come to my, you'll not just come to my house anytime, you just pop it. Like, I don't do these things, right? And also, I'm available to tell people, no, I can't do this. I'm sorry, I'm so busy, I cannot do this. You see, one of the pressing, couldn't to my dad. My dad have a boundaries with me when it comes to my study. Philip, my dad have India time on his phone. Even if my dad does not have my dad India time is all calculated in the month of my dad. It never been a day, Philip, I've been in school that my dad just called me no ramped on it. Never. My dad always call me 5 because I'm home 6. Even sometimes if I go to school, maybe my class, I just came home rarely in the day. And I'll be telling my dad, why I say you didn't call me say Queen because you were in school at that time. These are boundaries we have to, regardless my dad no right, the reason I came to Ina because of studying nothing else. So if we cannot respect this boundary, expecting 9.6 GB at the end of the semester, how does that work? Another boundaries people are afraid to set with people, Philip, people always get that thing. If you call me one time, I answer. It means you call me 50 times, I will answer. That thing boil my blood. It make me angry. If you call me 1, 2, you get me. Just know maybe I won't answer or I busy or I am on my phone. 3 things should come in a month of you. But if people even call your messenger for the 3 times, you be calling WhatsApp 10 times, you be calling Instagram. Like, these are boundaries for me. Like, I don't want to. I think someone here I can reference someone to you. Yeah, Maya knows
Just
that.
come at me. Come at me.
Maya knows that. You call me more than 2 times, feel like yes. The first time I will tell you, feel like I don't like this. You call me 1 time, you get me. The second time, feel like even my response, I'm not being rude, but my response, you know that I'm not in favor of these things you are doing. The issue is that feel like people are afraid of, setting up boundaries. And also, if you are not setting up boundaries, feel like you lost value. People feel that they can
Right.
get or anytime you're available for them, anytime. You lost your value, you lost your integrity as a human being. So, in as much as we want to please people, our workplace, our bosses, our partners, we have to set boundaries with them. So, happy it, I will stop here and then we proceed. As time go
Thank
back, we'll elaborate on it more.
you so much. Thank you so much. I like to have that. You were able to clear understanding around this battery thing, and you highlighted your own life story, how your dad actually sees exactly those boundaries you have set up, and that's great. That's how we ought to be, right? That's how we ought to be as people with our families, our friends, and those people in our cycle. It's very important that we should say no to a particular thing, and we don't need to bend on our no, right, Myers? We don't need to bend on our no. Our no should be no, and our yes should be yes. And again, there should be an establishment of a mutual respect between both parties. It's very important, guys. So let's shift now to Myers. Myers, you just going to tell us, uh, for example, 3 to 5 signs, right? Only 3 to 5 signs of people entering into an unhealthy relationship, right? So you go give us just 3 to 5 signs of a relationship becoming unhealthy. Once you're done with those signs, we can transition to the next question. Fast forward, we move on to the next segment. So my eyes is open to just 3 to 5 signs that you can identify or recognize.
Thank you, Philip. Thanks to all of our listeners. Thanks to Queen as well for
You're muted, sir.
Are you getting me, Philip? Queen, are you there?
Maria, you are audible. I guess your network has some fluctuations. Always.
Philip, I think you have to go and come back.
Philip,
So,
you can
Okay.
speak more. You have to.
like Philip asked the question, one of these things that you have to take into consideration into an unhealthy relationship is whenever you see the person is trying to be so controlling, right? You see the person is trying to be so controlling, you should try to take key note of that. Yeah, you cannot say you are into of a relationship or friendship, what have you, and you seen the person being so controlling, take note of that. It is not healthy for you. Yeah, because
How many
relationship, like we talked about. Fella, what you say?
how many sons have you gone?
I just one, man, controlling, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, control. And the second one has to do with the respect, right? You cannot be in a relationship or friendship with anybody. Be it from the family side, I said it previously, right? School, wherever, workplaces, and you see that the person is being so disrespectful to you, right? Every one of us should get our own trial of boundaries, right? It is not everybody who try to be very rude back to people, most especially when you know the kind of place you're from, the kind of, the kind of training you have gotten, right? Yeah, the way you grew up, right? There are some people that they don't try to be rude to people; they just let it be. But that once you see people try to be so disrespectful, you try to know that no, this place is not my place. Another thing we have to look at, no trust. You cannot be in a relationship or friendship, what we call tonight, and there is no trust, lack of trust. Know that no, this person is not trustful and whatever. You know that this particular area is not your area. It's not healthy for you because at the end of the day, they will do more bad thing to you or more, thing that will make you to be frustrated. And when you are not careful, like we talked about stress the other time, you try to be so stressful, and a lot of things will try to run to your mind. Yeah, that's why you see today some people commit suicide, Philip. You see some people will try to go. I remember somebody was telling me one time, one of my colleagues, he had a girl who he was loving to, and then somebody had to call into the house, say, oh, your girlfriend went to the river. Yeah, she said she coming through herself down in the river. And people try to ask her what's the question. She was like the guy being so abusive, Yeah, don't trust her and what if you try to express herself. So it was definitely now a play for her to be, but she was, yeah, just forcing it to be there just because she want a relationship. So like I said, I feel like these three things, if you see somebody try to be so controlling, try to be so disrespectful, lack of trust, definitely say no to that particular area and call it a day, try to leave. So I'll stop here for now, my brother.
Thank you so much, Bias. I mean, those are signs that we ought to give our attention to in our relationship, right? Like, at what stage can we sense that a relationship is becoming unhealthy? You said people being controlling, people want to have the final say, a girl or the boy wants to be rude or behaving in a rude manner. Not only girlfriend, boyfriend, but looking at the bosses, Queen, earlier unstated, where bosses kind of create this toxic, working environment where you see us every now and then. And she even highlighted some of her friends, not walking into what she has set up for herself. It's her own personal thing. It's her own personal rules and regulations. So we need to give respect to that. We have to be respectful rather than being, disrespectful, right? So when people tend to be disrespectful, people tend to be harsh, people tend to be, chaotic, annoying. These are signs that we can see will be okay. This relationship is actually unhealthy. And one thing again, I want to bring to our attention is misunderstanding, right? When people tend to misunderstand what you say to them, how you behave, right? Once you tend to misunderstand the next person, what happens is that that relationship is heading to, or is heading for an unhealthiness. It's very important we give attention to that as young people, even in our own family, right? It's important we give attention to that. So we go to, transition into this boundary thing, which I like. Many of us, we tend to set our own boundary, right? Our personal boundary, and people feel like, oh, that's been disrespectful. No, Queen set it for herself. Boundary doesn't necessarily mean that she's being disrespectful or she's being all to herself or she's full of herself. Miles setting up his own boundary doesn't mean that he wants to just get you out of his lane or out of his life. No, he only wants to regulate his emotional mindset or well-being. He wants to calculate that. He doesn't want anything just rushing coming into his life and just damaging him. No, he wants to maintain his emotional well-being. He wants to nourish himself physically, mentally, and spiritually. So whenever we tend to set boundaries, it doesn't necessarily mean that we want to be disrespectful or we want to put, an exit to people coming into our life. No, it's very important. And there are certain point in time when we tend to say no to people, when we tend to disallow people to do certain things in our lives, or do certain things in our space or certain decisions. They take us to be that weird person or people. They take us to be, very toxic or whatsoever they might have in their mind. But what say you before we come to the question, right, Queen? What say you about setting this personal boundary, about setting your own limit? What's about that? What's the beauty of it? And what's the, unattractiveness of it?
I already stated that, we are setting these things upon these things into place that we call policy, right? Um, with our rules of business, we're speaking from a business perspective. With our rules of business, I don't believe there could be a successful business. Even our
Right.
country, with our country rules and regulations. That's why I see even if they form an organization or anything company, anything of the church, right? You will see these are rules, regulations, sometimes they even embedded into the MOA. It tells you what the company is interested in and what the company is not interested in, right? These are things put you or set your company or organization aside. You know, at first, right? If you start to put these things into the rightful place, people will see you as someone who is hard to deal with in our society. They see you as someone who is difficult to deal with, who is very hard to deal with. Have you, Philip? Have you seen or have you gotten experience of a teacher in high school that he stand for the truth that he cannot compromise? If you fail, he cannot compromise.
Right.
We see these people as the most toxic people in society. We see them as very delusional. They are very rude. They are very, we see all kind of negativities about these people. But trust me today, if you come to India and see these things into place from all those instructors, then you give credit to your teachers that stood for principles. You will get credit to your institution that stood, its ground to ensure that you are represented today or you are representing your country in the right way. So I don't think there could be a successful business without is
Queen, I
it a network on my side or it's a technical issues?
It's from your side. It's
Um
from your side. We are getting you now.
you're
okay.
audible.
So yeah, like I was saying, right, these are, if you are sat on these people, right, in high school or perhaps your parents, one of the things I always say, I got thank you for my parents, I grew up in a way, Philip, where I'm used to being myself. People things don't move me. In fact, Philip, I spend whole time in my room. Sometimes once I'm not going to school, I spend 2 3 days in my room. I only see the daylight from the window. I can get outside, Philip, and I just feel so comfortable in our life. Sometimes people say, "Oh, Queen, every time you in though, you don't feel like my other roommates, right? Like neighbors. They always say my neighbors see me by accident, Philip. Like if we are going to school or maybe I already run, if I ain't like going or anything I want, I order on Blinky or any app. Imagine." Except Blinky can't do that gate, then you see me running also for my order. And once I get them into, when I was back home, my big sister always she used to do these things. Huh? I used to feel she so toxic. Why I say Queen don't do this when imagine I even enter you I get time to come home. Then I
Hmm.
thought, after high school and enter the university, I would be big Jew, I would do things. But like people used to call me Mama Pepe. As soon as they say bad move from here, man, you are Mama Pepe, sometimes I would feel so ashamed when I come on anchor, but I can say tell God, or else Philip, today some people can tell you that I'm not able to spend even an hour in my room, I talking to people physically. People can tell you that I don't know how to do these things. So
Hmm.
setting a boundaries in life, right? In a relationship, at your workplace, these are things that attach value to you, feeling as a person. Like I stated from the other stage, if there is no rules in a business, that business cannot succeed. Everyone will do their own thing. Open door policy in our labyrinth way of saying these things, right? Even if there is no organization or country in Philly is not abiding by rules, so what do you think is exception for an individual, right, or for an individual to set up rules and regulations about their life, about their relationship, about their study time, telling yourself every day I will take 1 hour to study my lesson. Even if I will not study my lesson, I will read something, that will impact my life. I will listen to these motivational speakers, these people that will look up to on the internet. Maybe like some of all I love politics and sports, always me every time I create time for politics, sometimes follow geopolitics, these are things once I'm alone, these are things carry my tea. I just open it, know what's up, what's going on around the world. These are things that have impacted me that it make me to feel like I'm not even alone in my room, Philip. If I watching football game, sometimes I even forget in my room, I'm in the club. I'll be shouting like, "That much, just go!" Oh, Barasco. Sorry, I'm watching last school.
You see what?
Yeah,
The goal went straight into your chest. The pin straightly into your chest. A pinner. Let's hear you. Let's hear you, Queen.
I'm done. I'm saying I'm okay for now.
That's good. I like the
She
fact
have to
that
be
you are
okay.
social.
She will be okay for now. She have to be okay for
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Let's get it
I
done.
like the fact that the pin went strictly into your chest. And I think we can win this game. So, Miles, let's hear you, bro, on battery, right? Let's hear you on setting battery for your life, right? Not letting people to intrude, not letting people to invade, not letting people to disrespect, your space, but also you respecting other space, right? So, not we setting boundary for us is not our own benefit, but also to respect others, right? So that's why it's important to set up boundaries. Let's hear you, Miles. What does it mean to set boundaries in relationships?
Thank you, Philip. Thanks to Queen for that. Philip, the first thing, setting a boundary is save you from a lot of things. One of the first key thing I save you from is problem. It
Mm,
save you from problem. Because when you set boundaries, it is not everything you're going to be into. You're not going to be everywhere. Not everything that people say you will give ears to.
right,
This boundaries, when you are setting boundaries, you yourself, you have to work on yourself because you want for people to know their line with you. You must also know your line with yourself. There are people who
right,
say they set boundaries today, but they still cross other people's boundaries.
right,
They still cross people path, and which of course it is not good. You understand it, right? Why you say to people, you be clear with them, oh, this is why I stand for staying consistent. Me, I'm so consistent for what I say and other things. I don't be moving other things. You as an individual too must also be consistent with what be in a consistent place with what people will say to you. There are a lot of us who only have time for ourselves. Yeah, it is good to create that time for yourself, to have that boundary for yourself, but also respect other people's boundaries. Because you know that sometimes when
exactly.
you do something, yeah, when you do something to people, they'll say, like you say, you're not letting it in here, but you're doing it to somebody, right? And I remember one of the key saying I took from one of my instructor back in high school is when you're bending down to low on somebody too will bend down to low on you. It's very simple. When you try to disrespect somebody, try to cross somebody boundary today, mind you, somebody will cross your own boundary. No matter the kind of security you can put there, like guinea pig security to the bullet there, still will still try to clean our lane. You understand? There's still somebody will try to still pass by you because the boundary you set, you don't know your own value. You don't try to stay consistent, right? So the thing of boundary is very, very important, and it's something that you as an individual must work on yourself first before you bring the boundary. Boundary is not something that you just be talking with your mom all day. Y'all know I get my boundary here. Oh. Like when anybody you cross a play, anybody you cross, it's not something you have to be so emotional about it, so intentional about why you see it, right? So intentional about it, and know other people on the line. Give other people the benefit of the doubt. Respect people
Right.
as well, right? Because you also want to get those respect back. If you don't do these things at the end of the day, you want people to respect you, you want people to set boundary with you, right? You say to yourself, like Philip, like one let me say for myself, right? At a certain point of time, what I live personally, I used to be very open to people, be friendly with everybody, be humble with everybody, but it was giving people the audacity to say whatever they want to say to me because I never had that boundaries, right? With people. Like we feel like this thing of sympathy seeking our interest is something that we have to look at very seriously, right? We've made sympathy to see our interest. Oh yeah, there's my B sis, there's my big brother. Let me try to give him that full respect. But feel like at the end of the day, people ride on those things. They cross path with us. But yesterday we
Mm.
maintain ourselves. You know what happens? At a certain point of time when we notice ourselves, when we come to our memory and say, no, I think the reason why these things is happening is because I've let myself open too much. I let myself, yeah, in the space of people too much. I've given people to come in too much. So what I need to do right now is to watch myself. And you know what I did? I tried to watch my boundary and also watch other people's boundary. I think you remember the last show I was saying to you, Philip. I feel so comfortable being on campus and being in my room. That way I feel so
Yeah.
comfortable, right? Because once I
Yeah.
don't go in people's space to have conversation with them and other things, it will not get anybody the audacity to say what they're supposed to say to me, right? Once you see me, I'm off for school, off a thing that that are going to be a beneficiary to myself. It's not like I tell people, right? Sometimes people might be saying that, oh, my eyes is savage these days. It's not like I'm trying to be savage, but I try to create a boundary because I was so open before to people. So I had to call it, like you said, spade on spade. Yeah, I had to create something. And you know what happened, Philip? Because of what I've said, nowadays, there is nobody getting audacity to tell me what they're supposed to tell me. Nobody have done it since I said that boundaries with people, since I know my spirit. Nobody will tell me what you're supposed to tell me. Nobody will say, nobody will think any kind of way. Anything you say will be beyond me. You know what can happen when you set a boundary? People always speak behind you, but whenever they see you, they feel afraid, right? That's what boundaries can do, right? Anytime they see you, they feel so afraid. No, they won't say that thing because you will tell them. Another thing, fella, in setting a boundary that I wanted to say, you must be clear with people. Don't look at the truth and hide it. Be clear with them. When people bring certain things to your face them physically and tell them. They just say no. Please, I beg you, this is nothing. You don't have to say this on me. Be real with them. But sometimes we feel so shy, sympathy, seek our interest. We are so afraid. Feel like when I was growing up, I was so afraid when somebody do things, said to me to go and tell them, to confront them on the. I used to be so afraid this and that. But now, the kind of boundary we set, people know what to say to us. People know how to move with us. And then that's how it has been and cool. So when you do these things, you know yourself and you know people as well are going to be good for you. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you, Max. Thank you so much, and thanks to Queen as well. Although she kind of caught in, why, sharing her thought with us because she now has a pain in her heart. So it's okay. No comments to that. No comments to that.
That thing gonna
So
level, it's gonna be with her tonight. It will be with her tonight. Tonight will be with her.
has to. She has to live with it, right? She has to. That's the harsh reality. And here is it, guys. I want to have
I hope
that.
you're not. I hope you're not a Baga fan, Philip. I hope you're not a Baga fan. Saying Queen have to
If
live
I
with it.
Bias are leaving, Ghana paying for the entire champion this season and him putting more on milk cup. Are you qualify over your Myers? Men say they men. Are you aware? You live in Tana Ping.
Laugh. That's why I'm supporting Baga. And just
And
just now you saw what happened. You saw that emotion.
The lady is being kind by being with you. You see, she's reminding you. She's reminding you. But anyways, no comment to that. I'm actually a Barcelona fan. I am a Barcelona fan. Yeah. So let's get back. Let's get back to the conversation for tonight. On building healthy relationship, we are looking at setting boundaries, sharing our respect with others, and also prioritizing a very mutual respect, right? And also taking a look at an open communication or conversation our significant other. So that's very important. So let's come back to this thing. Whilst you guys spoke out, I was like, me setting boundary, Maya setting boundary, Queen, all the others, setting boundary doesn't necessarily mean that we are being the only beneficiary of the boundary being set. No, no. Once you set up a boundary, once that guardrails, like Queen said, the policy is being established, the rules and regulations are being established. What happens? Everyone involved tends to benefit. Everyone involved in that relationship benefits because what happens is that you ain't going to disrespect my space and my decision. I too I'm not going to disrespect your space and your decision, like you smartly put it, right? You were practical by saying when you tend to do that which you told people not to do, then those people tend to remind you your words, your guardrails to them. Oh, man, I thought you told me not to call you by this time, but why are you calling me against my own time? So you see, so once boundary is being set up, everyone benefits. That's why Mass Television has come on this platform this Wednesday morning, evening, afternoon, or night, whatever time it is at your end, to tell you that setting boundary is very important. It helps us to have a healthy relationship and a very lasting, meaningful, and strong one. It's very important. So whenever we tend to say no to a particular thing, Maya said that we ought to be intentional about it. You need not play around that. Queen said it. Queen said she will be in her room or in her own space. Once you do not, before time, reach out to her. She's not going to listen to you. That's intention. We have to be intentional about the boundaries we set. These days, we young people, we are not intentional. We just say those things. Right? We just say that because we want to be heard, we want to be seen. No. Once boundary is being set, then we tend to eliminate or eradicate toxicity, right? We can tend to eradicate people being annoyed or we be annoyed at people. It's very important. So as we end this discussion on boundary, I would like to remind us that we setting boundary is simply telling someone to have respect for our and our decisions. We likewise having respect for those people's space and decision. So let's before moving on to the role of respect in relationship, I would like to bring to our attention again that we've got 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 41 seconds on this live. So we want to save Queen. Queen is very tired and she made it up to the shore. So we are not going to, spend much time here. So we're just going to be very brief with our responses to these following questions. So we can do this a night or a day. Will be okay, guys?
Sure, sure.
I want to boy
Nice.
if you
Come on. We kind of respect your boundary. We respect your decision. Right? So it's important. Let's drive into the role of respect in healthy relationship. And we all know that respect is actually the foundation thing. It's a fundamental skill that we ought to practice. We ought to build in our relationship. Because without this thing called respect, what happens? Relationship becomes toxic, right? People tend to annoy us. So, Queen, let me start with you. How does respect influence your relationships at your home, your school? I mean, your little friends circle. How does relationship influence your relationship? Your respect. How does respect influence your relationship?
again, thank you, Philip, for the opportunity. When you were speaking, when you talked about branches, people come to respect. Let me just drive in a bit. Nowadays you see people on the media, they have, posting things that They know within themselves they are the one who is doing. They are capable of doing that. But when they come on the
Okay.
media, it gets some people feel it. That's why you be very careful when you carry your problem to. It gets some people when they encourage you, when they advise you help or something. Feel like you wish to be with that person. You wish what God did not make your partner like that person. But
Right.
it will be solid enough that feel it this person is worse. So I don't like people living in pretend when it comes to that. People are very traumatic on this social media. Feel it they'll come on the media, advocating for this, doing this. But they are the very same one, you know, they are the one who are doing these things. But at the end of the day, happy is that's the reason I say, oh, with social media, I really don't believe everything you see on the media because people be telling you, oh, do not do this, do not do that. Why are you putting handkerchief on your phone? Do not do that. But trust me, Fred, they are not posting, but when they are going out, they put handkerchief on their phone.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
When I
right.
go, you are seeing these things where I back then when we were in high school, a lot of times Fisher Chapel are having Royal Plus Rare opposite, then opposite, but up the hill there. When you come in, we're going to school like that, or maybe we'll go visit our friends, we'll put our color clothes in our bed, or sometimes you even wear a uniform, like all the color clothes, you know. But if you are sitting there, your parents talking about children who do these things, you how these children. That's not pretend. That's the worst thing for them. Knowing that your child is not capable of doing this. At the end of the day, you see these things. It make you shame as a parent. It make you shame so much, even as a guardian or mentor to these people, right? So coming to respect. Let me try about the respect. Respect is similar to boundaries because once I respect Philip, I trying to say, I set boundaries, certain things I cannot say to Philip, even in the midst of conflict.
Mm,
Why I do call respect, right, or honesty to me, in the midst of challenges, if you can respect me to that level. Some people they only respect you, Philip, when you are putting smile on her face, but in the most difficult times, Philip, you and someone have argument, right? If you want to know why that person been keeping your heart, or you want to know if that person respect you, it's in argument, Philip. People are not very careful to talk around on it and for words, Philip. After everything, like for me, after every confusion I have with somebody, once I get on these things play on me repeatedly over and over, over and over, over and over and again. But people are not mindful of the words they say to people, even in the midst of confusion, Philip. They feel there's somebody say a plow thought. No plow thought should get boundaries, Philip. Plow
mm,
thought should
right.
get boundaries. Flower toy should get so you might take it like it's just flower toy, but the next person or the opponent might take it on a different perspective. You don't blame people because everyone have their own way of sensing things or in taking things in, right? So, like I said, respect and boundary works together. If Philip is telling me, Queen, I don't like these things. These are things I will have to improve on. That's why if you are in a relationship, I'm talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband, and wife, right? When you're in relationship, that's why you see where if that person is so intentional about that relationship, within a 6 month or a year, they always come out with resolution. What do we think
Right.
these things they say to people? What do you want to see? Improving. All these things are things they are telling you like there's a need you improve in this. There's a need we upgrade in this. There's a need you work on these things. But sometimes people take it to be very, very light. And secondly, coming to this thing respect. People feel that fail because they are in relationship with you, so everything can just change overnight. Like I tell people, if you want to be in relationship with me, tell yourself a file on my mandriffin. I tell you, no,
Right.
that feeling. I tell you, we are mandriff so intentional, like no one try. Like people can just feel I'm posting on the main. I read about mandriff, just something I want to show up, but that's something like I said on the show before, Philip. I can be having an argument with someone passing with real mandriffing. Once you consent this logo, Philip, my attention is just pushed and trust me, my anger will cool down. I tell you, no, la Philip. Because of that, I don't want to put mandriffing in my room. This tells you, right? How intentional I am when it comes to real mantra. I'm very serious about that. And someone comes in your life, or even your parents, like they want to stop you from watching football games. Sometimes people do this, deny, or deprive children from their habits, things that they know that it makes the children feel happy. Maybe perhaps the child loves, playing games, These are things, parents, every parent's guardian, we have to respect these things, Philip. You cannot come in someone's life and feel you can rule things, everything to be your will. Your will. Relationship is partnership. Coming from different perspectives, coming from different cultural beliefs, coming together. It's not easy to come together as one. The Bible refers to two in marriage as one. It
Yeah.
tells you that I always listen to Apostle Joshua Suleiman, right? Johnson Suleiman is not Joshua Suleiman, Apostle Johnson Suleiman. He always tells you that there are some things where even at your workplace, in your school, if you even have friends, feel a baby marriage with your friend, there's some things you just have to accept in marriage.
Hmm.
Marriage is your friend, marriage is real Madrid friend. It does not mean feel marriage should absolutely tend to back off him because you are a Barcelona fan.
No.
If you want to do this thing, you have to open your communication, like we said. Give the person the benefit. Do you see, Philip? Sometimes you influence people to choose your side without being chaotic. You
Yeah.
influence people. You give someone the reason, to believe in you, Philip, to believe in your side of life, in your own argument, right? These are things, we have to put in the remedy. We have to respect one another in relationship. For me, I speak more often on work side because I'm not relationship. I speak most often when it comes to work feeling. People are very rude when it comes to that working because they feel like they are the boss. They don't have time for employee. Employee does not have right. Employee does not even have blood. Yeah, that's how they behave sometimes. Feel like if you see bosses, even pastors talking to their members because they're calling this person evangelist and minister, feel like they talk to them anywhere, anytime, anyhow. Feel like people don't do these things. We have come, the reason of I tell anyone the reason of going to school feeling is to correct the lapses. Things that
Hmm.
that have affected the past generation, where listening to yourself, working, put these things into order or procedure. I can tell anyone, Philip, if you can't follow these things, well, like I told you about my policy, where if at times people say to be hyper, at times globally will adjust. If you cannot adjust, you can leave. When it comes to my workings, when it comes to Myers, you are laughing. Myers, I hope you get experience the thing I'm talking about.
Thank you. Say what you have to say tonight.
Eh, I think the floor also you.
As she continue what she has to say, give her the next 1 minute to say what she want to say.
Myers, that's what
Bias actually, he has actually entrapped you. He has entrapped you.
I'm so sorry. If she feels so offended for that, I'm so sorry. But I always like to be smiling. Feel like I remember one of my friends called me the other time. It's like, Miles, why you on the show? You smiling, you this and that. I'm like, I'm a happy player, a very happy
Yeah.
player. I always like to smile.
yeah, yeah,
So when she was
yeah,
talking, Jenna, it sounds so happy to me.
That's nice. That's nice. I
that's it.
mean, okay, ma'am. Thank you. I like the way you put your idea. And Miles did not give you the chance to land your thought well. It's okay. Maybe it's okay.
I don't know what I did. I
Miles,
was just
I
happy in my own corner. Philip, why are you trying to blame me for this?
actually did not behave well. You actually did not behave well.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Uh, I don't think Queen is going to forgive you for that. I don't think so. She's going to
Nah.
come back.
She will. She will.
She's going to come back at and you have to make up for that. So
I already
with that,
topic.
huh? You say?
It's so much on this topic tonight. I feel wherever you are watching us, you are telling me.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have Alfred on hopefully anytime soon. Yeah, it could be Friday or Saturday. They make up for that as well. So let's us out on those common signs of disrespect in relationship, right? What are those common signs you see from young people these days? Are you being a young man? What say you?
Philip can't remember that Barcelona is actually 2-2 now. The score is 2-2.
It's o-
I think
it's okay.
remember.
We're going to get the final result at the end of the whistle. Don't worry, man. Don't worry, okay?
Okay,
So, man, let's.
Philip, you talk about a common sign of of respect, right? Is that your question?
No, my question was, what are some of those common signs of disrespect in a relationship, from family side to your boyfriend girlfriend side to the working side? Yeah. So let's get you out. You could give two signs each or one sign each, so we can wrap up.
Okay, so one of the things I want to speak on is lack of listening, right? Uh, this is one of the things that we found into relationship today. People don't listen. They say you must be fast to hear but slow to speak. Whenever people speak, you listen to their speeches, you try to analyze it before you can try to respond to it. But whenever you are unable to do that, it becomes problem, it becomes disrespect because the form amount in which you are going to respond to that person now will create another thing, right? So that's one of the things we have to look at. And one of the things is a lack of supporting goals, right? Whenever respect, right? When you people is giving you those kind of respect, you should learn to support their goals and other things, whatever they're into. When we talk about friendship, you look at the entire thing. But whenever you see this person is not supporting your goal, lack of support, whatever thing you get into, right? They are not being able to support it. At the end of the day, just know that it's a sign of David. Anything you say to them regarding those things that matters to you, they take it very lightly. They don't want to see you succeed, right? That's a sign of indirect disrespect to you, right? They won't like try to insult you or what have you, but you see, right? Anything you say a beneficial thing for your life, they are not happy about it. Every time it makes them angry, know that they are so disrespectful. They are so much disrespectful, and you must take that into consideration. Because if you don't take these things into consideration, you get into that friendship or what have you, you will receive a lot of indirect disrespect from people, and which of course it should not be that way because it is not your motive of getting into that particular friendship, relationship, or what have you. Like we said previously, we talk about those mutual, respect for one another. So why it matters a lot, you must be able to support that individual, their goals and what have you. So when you are not able to support them, it becomes problem in the society. Another thing I want to speak on is honoring boundaries, right? When you see this person is not honoring your boundary, they are not, try to know their limit. Each time you set your boundaries, they always cross it. Each time you set it, they try to cross it. Know that that person is so disrespectful, and you have to, quote unquote, Philip say, where you have to let it be and let them be. Because if you don't do it, at the end of the day, they will continue crossing you up. Listen, one day, like she usually say, I was listening to Apostle Joshua Suleiman. He was saying, right, there are some people you don't change. There are certain things in them no matter how, thousand or year, they won't change. That thing is just part of them. They're just their lifestyle. So these are people you have to watch us for as well. If you think you're able to cope with that particular thing crossing your boundary every time, well, you can move. But if you feel like it is not good for you, my friend, I would like to say to you, try to end it. Let it be, right? Listen, there are some people we have to lose in life. That's the reality about it. I tell people, don't be afraid of losing anybody in life. It's happening sometimes. It's part of life. Usually, I always tell people, what you mean? It's so painful. I say, my brother, my sister, it's part of life. These things must happen. It's common. There are a lot of people who went through it. You are not exceptional from it. Life has to move on. It happened because these are challenges you face. So I would like to stop here for now and then give you the time. Okay.
Thank you so much, Maya. And again, you kind of intelligently spoke out your point. Not people using rude or harsh words. I may say, not people using harsh words. Not people using profanity, and then we consider that as disrespect. No, disrespect is far beyond that, like people not giving you honor due unto you. People necessarily, you know, they don't necessarily, tend to give an attention to the due diligence, right? That thing which that thing which they ought to provide you as a person, they tend to forget or ignore them. That's disrespect. When people can actually do the due diligence, that's respect. But they lacking the ability, of performing the due diligence, that's actually disrespect. They're not giving you that honor. They're not cheering you up. They're not clapping for you. They're not being there with you. That's actually disrespect. Rather than we looking at, you said, just profanity. No, profanity alone is not disrespect into a relationship. But when people don't do those, necessities, right, then we consider that as disrespect. So it's important that we open our eyes, we open our mind, open our ears and our heart to be able to understand these things being discussed tonight. And we can go on different platform to be able to learn. You open different books to be able to learn these things. It is important. So I would like to transition us to this communication thing, right? Because all of what we have said, from the boundary to what, to the respect, everything kind of boils down to this thing called communication. Until and unless, Miles, you can be able to speak up, until and unless Queen has the ability to speak up properly so you understand clearly what she's speaking, we ain't going to enter into this thing called disrespect in relationship. We ain't going to go into this thing called misunderstanding of boundaries. We ain't going to go into those things. But the reason why we enter into these problems, the reason why young people in a very young relationship or a beautiful relationship, and even in the family, at the workplace, or even in your friend circle, we tend to see disrespect every day. We tend to misunderstand boundaries. It's simply because communications are not done properly. It's very important. Let's take a note. It's very important. Whenever there is a poor communication, it leads to misunderstanding. And we should note that listening is also important as speaking, right? Whenever the person is speaking, the significant other should be able to listen, listen not to respond only, but listen to understand what is being spoken about, not attach emotions to things. Many young people do that, right? Whenever people tend to speak up, they want to respond to what have been said, what is being said, with their emotions. No, listening is as important as speaking, and also the tone we use to speak. We should take into consideration the tone we use to speak, the timings, Myers. It's not at all times we speak to issues. It's not at all times we speak up. There are times we just take a break, we pause, and come back and speak up. But not just speaking on the same. I'm the man in the home, I'm the woman in the home. I have to speak up. No, you have to take into consideration both the tone and the timings. That being said, Queen, why is communication important in relationships? Of these points I just spoke out.
Thank you so much, Philip.
Welcome.
So okay, the issues. Like I said, when you go to a working place, they tell you, Philip, certain thing how they call orientation and something. It tells you these are the school or institutions, policies. These are things. While they are trying to tell you, there's a place they have boundaries. There's a need
Right.
for respect. These are the main reason for telling you these things. If you go to anywhere, right, these are things they're trying to tell you. So I feel with our communication, Philip, there can be no boundary, there can be no
Mm.
respect. Because Philip, if I'm hurt and I'm not telling Philip, these things you do to me, I don't like, there's a need you work or improve on these things. How will you stop? You will continue
Mm.
to you will continue to follow that same procedure because you feel it's right. So in relationship, right, even at your workplace, if your colleagues, maybe even your boss, if perhaps they make you feel unsafe around them, they talk to you in a very way that you don't like you stay there, where you should have timing for communication. you know People always use Saate Newton law, how do we call this thing? Newton tell law of motion, right? People always
Yeah,
use
yeah.
these things. Newton tell law of motion. People always use these things. There should be a to feel like everyone can be right. Everyone can be right. Do we know today was still fighting in Africa? Like what happening between Guinea and Liberia? From the other perspective, people feel like I don't want to travel into politics, but people feel that because Guinea have been true and also Liberia so to pull off the army. Do you know what gonna cost for the country? I always
Mm-mm.
tell people, oh, do you know how it feels to experience 14 years of warfare? So we should open up communication for these things. We should have time if it how to respond. Sometimes, we are it's actually beneficial when it comes to our workings where as a Myers TB family. At times, feel like you might talk to me, I really don't like. I cannot respond to you on this show. We are trying to represent ourselves outside there. We are trying to implement what we are telling these people. All these things we are teaching and we are carrying awareness. We are trying to work on these things, Philip. So there should be a timing. Sometimes, sometimes very well, Philip, this thing you are right. Sometimes you believe you're right. When the raffle time reach, when the person had a school and you made them to feel, understand. Even if they don't understand, Philip, I tell anyone, I'm not the one that into argument with people. Like when it comes to working, right? Once I know you are not calling my way, Philip, I very good at ignoring people. I don't know that's my style. I'm very good at ignoring people. Because I just trying to avoid, hot and cool. Once you not agree with me, they get some people feel that if they say A like A, you even go on Google, you charge it, it be A. The A will show around A, Philip. That person will tell you A like A. I can't call one of my friends. Hmm. I wish Afra could be here. You'll be laughing. Philip, no Afra. Alfred, pardon me, please. I'm just trying to say something. So, communication, communication is actually good in relationship. It's just, being open up to communication, Philip. How will, I really appreciate those whom read that Philip, that they call their children to express themselves at times. African parents do not do these things. They feel
Mm.
because you are a child, there's no need because of that. Philip is actually good, in marketing, right? How will you know that
Oh, this should not be. This cannot be. Queen. Oh, we finally lost Queen. We have finally lost Queen. So, Mass, we're going to just take, uh, some of the common mistakes, we see in communication, right? People make, right? So, what are common communication mistakes we see people make in? Okay, Queen is here. Before we take on the common mistakes people make in relationships, let's Queen actually end and let's talk. Yes, Queen.
let me firstly apologize. Once it's 12 in the morning, Pastor starts to call for prayer.
Muted? I
Yeah.
think you are.
Claire, she's Claire. Philip, are you getting her?
Oh,
Philip, you
it's
have
me.
to reach
It's
on.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Philip,
You
you
have
Is
to
have
it
reach
to
on.
me? I can hear you.
yeah,
Is it me?
reach on.
Reach on. Reach on.
I'm so sorry I'm the
Oh,
cause, Philip, because if my network couldn't have. So, like my as I was saying, right? Communication is very important in a relationship. African parents feels that there's no need for the child, Like I'll even give you an example on a marketing, being a student of marketing. Myers, you are selling a product. How will you know that your product actually reach the demand, the satisfaction of customers when you are not getting feedback. The reason these feedbacks, are imposed. Sometimes you'll even see in their Myers, if someone you buy something from somebody online, they will be begging to give a feedback. Yeah. Blinkit and other apps where Amazon, once you buy Myers, they will be even begging you to give a feedback because they want to know if you are certified the product meets your demand. If you have problem with the delivery person that deliver your products, if the time was convenient, if the product was the quality you expected. These are things. So why it tells you that you are opening room, for communication, you are opening rooms to tear now. If this product and Philip that I bring, I'm so sorry, I'm a marketing student. I'm imitating Myers. Myers always speak on his feet. So
I like.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, Philip. So if these things were, if this customer have a problem with maybe a delivery guy, took time to deliver this thing instead of the 2 days or the 4 days, they deliver in 1 week. You are simply trying to tell Amazon that this particular person didn't bring my product in time. I feel they didn't certify about the address. In the next time, they will put, remedy where these are methodology they will put into place to ensure that the next time you order, it will meet your expectation as expected, right? So communication is actually cutting Philip, into your workplace, into your relationship. If you are not a good communicator, Philip, like I don't know how to work with someone who are not good at communication, Philip, because I don't know. Like after the show, Philip, one thing I already couldn't so you were in Myers. One thing I already appreciate, after the show, you guys always go in the chat in the Myers TV family chat room. Thank you so much to this person. Why are you trying to say, right? These are once the press, sometimes if they're not called the person or they're not supposed to be there, that maybe there was a guideline that the person try to infringe on the Myers TV policy, right? You will see once you put this in for the next time I come here, right? Maybe I just start losing the year. You won't correct me, but beyond the thing in our chat room, once you correct me for the, if I'm speaking next time, I'm very careful on my word, my choice of word, right? These are important, these are necessary of communication. So I'll be here for our time spent. I have prayer. I was going to be joining. Thank you.
So much, ma'am. We have to respect your time as well and those things you do. So, Miles, we just want to be very quick on this, very brief on this one. What are common communication mistakes people make?
Okay, Philip, thank you so much. So, one of the common communication mistakes we make is lack of active listening, right? Whenever people speaks, you have to, like I said, you have to think twice, try to understand what it means. The best person that can interpret themselves is a person who speak out, right? That's a person know what they are saying, where you don't be there to, try to give wrong quotation about what they said. It become problem. So you must be an active listener, right? Like we usually say, be fast to hear but very slow to speak. Another thing,
Yeah.
right, is has to do with question, asking question. Whenever people speak, you don't understand. What you do is you ask them question to repeat what they have said to get clarity. A lot of us we don't do that. We don't ask people. Yeah, whenever people speak, we just conclude that. A lot of us we like concluding people cases and other things. It become bad. So you have to ask question when you don't understand, and the person will better elaborate right on what they said. Another thing is stay calm, right? Whenever there's whenever this thing about communication, you must always stay calm in a sense like you don't have to raise your emotions. You have to calm down whenever people talk. You be very cool in responding to them. Take your time while you are listening. You analyze it. Stay calm. Be just calm down, my brother. Yeah, and respond to them in a polite manner. You understand it, right? The way the forms and manner in which we respond to people, two things: either it reduce maybe a conflict, it can be a conflicting thing, maybe it reduce it or it increase it. So you have to know the kind of way you say things to people. But normally, I want to say we must always try to stay calm whenever situation arises. So I'll stop here for now because of time.
Thank you, sir. So it's important that, through this conversation, we all can learn that, poor communication can lead to misunderstandings. We all have established that fact that poor communications lead to misunderstanding. So let's try to be a good listener And let's also try to be a good speaker. It's great that we speak up our emotions properly, but not with grudges, not with harsh tone. And also let's consider the timing, right? It's not at all time you speak. Whenever someone step on your toe, whenever someone misbehave, it's not at all time we speak up. You have to take a break, pause, try to think around or think through what has happened, and then you can make your opinion or you can speak up to that issue. So we are going to end on this very one question, and just 30 seconds each. Then we take your parting statement. So 30 seconds, you answer the question, we move on to the next, and then we take a parting statement. So how can people express themselves without causing conflict? Queen.
No, Philip, you actually owe me tonight.
Okay.
The
Am I
fact
audible to you?
that I'm saying you actually owe me tonight, but happy it will say behind the scene. Imagine you didn't give me break, Philip.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
Yeah, so you are asking if I get you right, how can people communicate
Yeah,
without
how can
being
people express themselves without causing conflict?
oh wow. Like we talked about timing. Timing should be one of the things people prioritize in communication. You can explain, Philip, you can explain to someone, influence them or convince them to do things without being so abusive. Like I said, respecting argument, choice of word in arguments, these are things that are very important, Philip. Just practical experience or example, right? Philip, if you come to me and tell me, Queen, this thing you did to my ex is not right, and I try to be very rude, very, unreasonable at that moment, Philip. You can go, take a break. In my cool time, you come again. At the end of the day, Philip, that person who have been very rude, like I've been very rude to you, that my something in me called conscience. It will tell you that Philip from a good upbringing, there's a need, he make a certain point without being abusive, or using chaotic stuff, that might escalate, right? So what we're saying to the public, you can communicate very properly, Philip, without being, very aggressive. You can express yourself to your partner because the problem about communication, Philip, even the God read from us out from the Christian principle, Philip. God told Jeremiah from before you were born, I knew. He said before we can even utter a word, he already know about it. Meaning everything that I'm going through, Philip, as I'll be saying that God be answering my prayer because he know about these things. But yet he's
Yeah.
saying telling me I should ask first before I receive. I should seek before I find I should knock. And he knows that I need this thing, Philip. It tells you that God is a God of communication, Philip. You
Right.
have to open him. You have to speak to him, right? Some people always get problem with the Pentecostal. We the Pentecostal. Even me now get problem with it. Pentecostal will be praying, yeah. My eyes, they will shout. The whole thing will know that I'm praying. But to all kind of things. We Pentecostal, we feel that's the time God just come from heaven in a Shekinah glory and just answer all my prayers. But people that pray like Catholic, hey, Holy Mary, who say like, what for me and me not talking here. The day I go to the poor, I can call it boring church. If I go to church, what pastor not get prayer for all the blast in the Holy Ghost, trust me, you're not going to see me. I will attend our service. You will see my action. Even if there is no person watching it, they say before and drum, before keyboard, there was microphone, before microphone. Philip, if I go to that church, that microphone, people need doing all that thing. Trust me, I'm a Pentecostal. We love noise. If I cannot get the feelings, you will not see me to the church again. That's the truth about it. So that's it from my end, Philip.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Elias, let's hear you. How can people express themselves without causing conflict?
Philip, like Queen said, we firstly had to be very polite when it comes to expressing ourselves. No matter how the situations can be, the worse the situation can be, very polite in a sense of, being honest in expressing.
Right.
There are a lot of us when we are expressing ourselves, we create a lot of false scenarios just to make it look some kind of way. Where we create that kind of scenario. No, try to be very honest, in expressing yourself. And like I said previously, you have to be calm. Another thing is empathy. In expressing yourself, there's something called empathy in it, right? Try to create that kind of mindset that the way I will talk to the person, when I go down well with them, they will really feel offended. So all I need to do, I have to feel the pain that person feeling as well, right? Try to be very empathetic to that person, right? That is another thing. Another thing is respect. The Queen said, you have to respect others, right? While you are speaking, yes, indeed, you are hurt, what have you, no matter the situations, but try to be very respectful in giving that communication. Because if you show some day respect, there are some people can say, me, I can't take it from you. You won't come here to say you can't express yourself, then you won't come insult me. No, I won't take it from you. Right away, what happened? The fire tried to blaze and other thing. Try to make the conversation so open, where you speak, allow the person to speak. You people try to
Right.
have a dialogue. Whenever conflicts arise, I tell people the best thing we can do, we go through a dialogue. Or better stay, like for me, be like me, I let it be. I let it go whenever that's it. If you think that you cannot do the following thing, there's something you just let it be. There are some situations I don't have to respond to if Philip Queen, I just let it be and I know, yeah, that's it, that's life. It's had to happen sometime. It just teaches me a lesson, so I let it be. So if you feel like you cannot go through these things through expressing yourself, then I advise that you let it be and it is what it is. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you, sir. I want to appreciate you too before your party statements. I would like to extend my thanks to you too, for the time. I'm so sorry that I was able to call a break in. Next time, I suggest that you, Miles, can, actually drop me a message, or better still, say it up to me. Yeah, so we can call in a break time. Sorry, Queen, for that. I was caught up. I just wanted us to wrap up this thing. I'm so sorry, but next time you can. I make it's my suggestion, right? You just message me, or you say it here, so we can call a break in.
Philip, what
So
Okay.
next
happened is
time we have a great time, and
Philip,
again, it was
when the show too
actually
nice, when the show too
you
nice,
are
now
muted.
when you're going
You are
your way,
muted. You are
you
muted, man.
Philip Mine is not muted. We are hearing you, but I guess you are not hearing
Hello.
me.
Philip, you have to come back.
You have
Woo.
to rejoin.
So, like I was saying, Philip, you don't have to appeal. Sometimes, like when the show so interesting,
There's a
nobody
need
want to
for it. That's
come.
the same thing we're talking about setting boundaries, man. There's a
Okay,
need.
sure,
You have to be apologetic when it comes to that. That's a
okay,
procedure. Why
sure, sure.
bypass?
Okay, okay. But today it was like so interesting,
Yeah, today was very very
No,
meaningful, and
I get problem with the pastors and when the sermon is so good, they feel that members need to spend 10 hours in that church to preach everything they are studying from Monday to Sunday. From Monday to I reserve my turn.
oh, that's thanks, and thanks to our followers for always supporting us, with their time and consideration is very important. So thank them. We'll be here again Friday. Before we come here on Friday, I'd like to have the party statements from our two, speakers tonight. So let's hear you out, Queen, and then we transition to Myers, and then move on to me. We call it a night day for a morning.
Thank you again, Philip. Actually, we are glad to have you as our guest and not guest or host tonight. The show was actually good, and to our listeners, we want to say thank you for being here. Well, and even those that will follow the show after, we want to say thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy. A better thing you learn, and we all learn from one another as well. So, not to waste your time, like we said, the fundamental if you want to build a relationship, you have to take three things into consideration that is important. Like I already stated, if you are human and if your head hurts, it tells you that every part of your body cannot function properly as expected. It tells that these three components cannot work. These three components cannot work, without without won't be accepted or exception from that, right? So we have to have respect. We have to put some procedure down. On respecting our boundary, you have to learn to say no to people at times. It's important. At times you have to, let people to express themselves, like Maya said. At times you have to respect people as well. So thank you, and I hope to see you Friday. Good night from my end.
Thank you. Let's hear Myers out. Myers, quickly, sir.
Thank
Just
you so
30
much.
seconds.
Thanks to Queen as well. Thanks to all of our followers. I appreciate your time being here. So let me leave you with this one sentence. It says, healthy relationship need trust, respect, and communication. For a relationship to be healthy, you must have trust, you must have respect and communication. When you lack any of these things, the relationship become imbalanced. And to balance it, you need to bring one of them back. So that's why relationship with your family, your workplaces, uh, whatever friendship you are into, whether romantics or what have you, these are things that you have to stand on. These are key foundation, right? The Bible says, upon this foundation, I shall build my church, and the gate of hell will not prevail. On
Yes.
the foundation, you can build your relationship and nothing will allow you to destroy. If you like it, maybe you're in any relationship and you like another thing, just work on yourself. You can go back to a pew. When he agree to you, that's it. Meaning you already work on yourself. Queen, why you laughing? Peter, why you laughing? So you can work on yourself and
I'm
better
not.
get yourself, get
I'm
yourself the
not
benefit of the
laughing.
doubt, and you're gonna
Liberty.
see how it's gonna be. Thank you so much, and God bless every one of us. Friday again, we're gonna be here, to go through the time. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Queen, and I love every one of us.
Those were the voices of our incredible speakers for tonight on building healthy relationship, specifically looking at boundaries, communication, and respect. So I'll leave you with this one, people. If you actually want to create a long-lasting, strong, and sweet relationship, please note that it is not built on control or pressure. No, it's not built on those things. Instead, it's built on respect for you and your significant others, is built on boundaries, is built on a proper communication, a very decent one and a very understanding one. So once again, with media on Friday, we're going to have Queen being our host. She's going to be hosting for Friday. So let's have a great time. And thank you all. You all.
I just,
Bye.
yeah, I just enjoying it.
I got you on this.
Oh,
Bye.
my TV.